Hello, hello, people. Can you hear me? Good evening. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me put on my earphones, and I hope you can hear me. Yes, you're welcome to my live stream. My name is Beatrice. I'm a certified natural family planning expert. Welcome to my live stream. I hope my camera is well set. I don't know if it's okay this way. Well, today's topic is family planning slash birth control. They are both the same. Yeah, family planning slash birth control and how they affect your life. Yeah, how they affect your health. Because whatever affects your health affects your life in general. So you need to know, you need to be aware of the family planning or birth control methods you put into your body. You need to be aware of how they work, their modes of operation, and their side effects, and everything in general that you need to know about them. I'll be talking about in this live stream and in subsequent live streams to come. So what is family planning? What is birth control? Birth control or family planning, let me say family planning is the process of considering how many children, how many kids you wish to have or you want to have, and the interval between them, the intervals between each of your kids, that is the spaces or the space between each child. That is family planning. Family planning is the consideration or the process of considering how many children you want to have and the space, the intervals between each of them. That is family planning. Hello, you're welcome. Okay, I'm not, can you hear me? Hello? If you can hear me, please say yes. Say yes if you can hear me. Thank you. So, like I said earlier, whatever affects your health affects your life in general. Family planning can affect your health in ways you can never imagine. And this is one thing doctors always forget to tell us about. Doctors always, they conveniently forget to tell us how these things we put in our bodies work. Okay, you can hear, thank you. So doctors forget to tell us how they work. I remember asking one of my doctor friends that why is it that you don't tell women how these things work? Why is it that you don't tell women the side effects of these family planning methods you put in their body? You know what he said? He said, women don't ask. Women don't ask how they work. So because women don't ask, they don't tell them. I said, I'm saying, you say, what does, doctors forget to tell you. They conveniently forget to tell women the side effects of family planning. No doctor will tell you, see the side effects. Like I was saying, I said I asked a doctor friend of mine, why is it that they don't tell women the side effects of family planning? He said because they don't ask. That was his answer. He said because women don't ask. So whatever affects your health affects your life, like I said at first. Family planning, for those who have just joined us, is the consideration or the process of considering how many children you want to have and the spaces, the intervals between each of the children. Okay, you're a doctor. You actually tell the side effects of family planning. You give options, they can choose. Okay, you give them options to choose. But do you tell them how it works? Do you tell them how it affects the reproductive system? You tell them, of course, you tell them the different types of family planning and how they can choose, right? But do you tell them how it works? How do they work? How do they work? As in, the number one way they work is that they stop ovulation. They stop ovulation. That is the number one way they work. Because without ovulation, there can be no pregnancy. The second way they work is that they thicken cervical mucus. Cervical mucus is also known as egg white. That is ovulation mucus. They make it so thick and it starts behaving like a blocking agent, blocking sperm cells from entering into the uterus. You have many pills, of course, yeah. Depo, yeah, injections. That's what I'm talking about. These are hormonal birth control methods. They stop ovulation, they thicken cervical mucus, and they scrape the uterine lining. That is the way they work. They scrape the uterine lining, preventing implantation from taking place. And if implantation fails to occur, pregnancy can never be positive, as in pregnancy can never be successful. These are the three ways they work. I have friends, I have family who have experienced traumatic effects just by using these methods, from migraine to loss of libido to hormonal acne to name it, just different stages, depression, so many things, blood clots that these things can cause in women. And doctors always pleasantly forget to tell them the side effects or the modes of operation of all these things they put in their bodies in the name of family planning. Which country? Yeah, which country are you from? You're welcome to my live stream. You're welcome to my live stream. You're welcome to my live stream. You can drop your questions if you have any questions about today's topic. Today's topic is family planning / birth control, how they affect your health. Because whatever affects your health also affects your life in general. Wow, you're from India. Welcome to my live stream. Thank you for joining us. So that is what today's topic is all about. So what are the different types of family planning? What are the different types of family planning or birth control methods we have? Yeah, I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. So the different types of family planning we have are the natural family planning and the artificial family planning. Family planning or birth control is divided into, namely the natural and the artificial. Natural family planning consists of the old rhythm or calendar method. That is when a woman counts her dates, her fertility with the help of a calendar. Is Nigeria a developing Oh my God. That's not today's topic. That's not today's topic. We're talking about family plan. You're asking me about Nigeria. Anyway, just like I was saying, family planning is divided into natural and artificial family planning. So let's talk about the natural types of family planning. If you've had any experiences, like if you've experienced any traumatic effects or pleasant effects, it doesn't have to be traumatic, please you can share with us in the comments. Thank you. So natural family planning consists of the old rhythm or calendar method. This method, the woman counts her dates on a calendar with the help of a calendar. She counts her fertility, her menstrual cycle with the help of a calendar. Okay, so with the help of a calendar. Now, I can't see your message. Message restricted. Okay. YouTube is restricting your message. The Pezin, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. The Pezin, YouTube, I think YouTube is restricting your messages. Please send your messages according to YouTube guidelines. Thank you. If you don't, they'll restrict your messages. I can't even read what you're posting because YouTube is stopping me from seeing them. So please be civil in what you're in your comments. Just be careful the way you comment on YouTube because there are guidelines you have to follow. So maybe your messages are against the YouTube guidelines. That is why they are not showing it. Okay. Okay, avoiding sex. They want to say it. Yes, oh, exactly. Exactly. Want to till next period. Okay. Yeah, you have an idea of natural family planning, but that's not what you are correct to some extent. But I'll get there. Even if I don't do that today, it's a series. This is just the beginning, because family planning is a very wide topic. It's not what I can finish in one day. So today and subsequently, I'll be talking about everything about family planning and all that. So please make it a date with me every day. Like I'll try to be here every other day around this time. Yeah. So it's not, I don't hope to finish it today because it's a very wide topic. So I just say the much I can today and leave the rest for maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Thank you. So we have the calendar method, we have the thermometer method, also known as BBT method. This is called the thermometer method. This method utilizes a basal body temperature thermometer. It's a special kind of thermometer that a woman goes to the pharmacy to buy, and then when she buys the thermometer, she uses it first thing every morning before doing anything at all, before going through stress, before doing any work, before stressing herself. Immediately she wakes up from sleep, she takes her thermometer and inserts it under her tongue, and then you leave it there for about 4 or 5 minutes until the thermometer itself clicks. It makes a clicking sound to tell you that it is ready. So you take it and you read your temperature on the thermometer. When a woman is fertile, like the days after ovulation, a woman's body temperature increases. The body temperature increases, and that is what we tell her that she has ovulated, and she can use this, whatever result she gets, to prevent or to achieve pregnancy. It is not always about preventing or prevention. You can also use it to achieve pregnancy, and that is what natural family planning is all about. Now reasons is 4th day, ovulations, sperm motility, okay, and 2 to 4 hours, 3 days should avoid sex, okay. Well, you're correct, but natural family planning deals with observations. What you wrote now, what you typed in the comments is like prediction. You are predicting a woman's fertility, maybe according to her cycle, the number of days in her cycle. When you practice or when you apply natural family planning, you don't predict. You work with what you see. You work with observation. You observe your body signs. Temperature raised is less than 1. How can we predict raise in temperature? That is what I'm saying. BBT utilizes, that is the days after ovulation. When ovulation occurs, body temperature rises. But that is not enough. That is not enough to predict accurately, because we're talking about accuracy here. We're not talking about predictions. The fertility apps, people use fertility apps. Fertility apps predict. They are not really accurate. You cannot rely. If you check my channel, you will see where I made a video about fertility apps. They are not 100% accurate. If you are using fertility apps, you need to pair them with other methods to be on the safe side so that you don't make mistakes. The same way, if you use BBT, basal body temperature, or calendar method, you don't use them all by themselves. You don't use them alone. You have to pair with other methods so that you don't make mistakes. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so you have to pair them with other methods so that you don't make mistakes. Mostly trusted is learn family methods to see ovulation occurs, not estrogen. I will influence while progesterone doesn't. I don't really understand your question. Please make it clearer. I don't really understand your question, but you have to like combine calendar method, BBT method, or even the fertility apps that you use. You can't just rely solely on fertility apps, no, or rely solely on calendar method, no, or rely solely on BBT method, no. You have to pair as in combine them with other methods so that you don't make mistakes. That is what I'm saying. They are not 100% reliable. But what you should know is that they have no side effects. Natural family planning has no side effects, 0% side effects, and their success rates are high when used correctly, when used the correct way. Natural family planning is highly effective. People think they don't work because of one story or the other, myths that are online that people tell them, that is because they do not know how to use it. When you know how to use natural family planning is 100% effective when used correctly, and they have no side effects. They are also affordable, unlike hormonal birth control, like the contraceptive pill, the IUD, the Depo Provera injections, the shots, the implants, the patch. These have traumatic side effects. Yes, I can testify to that. I'm a witness to that. I have friends who have gone through trauma just because they used one hormonal birth control method or the other. I have family who have gone through series of problems because they were using the implant or the injection or whatever, hormonal birth control. So the side effects are highly traumatic, and this is one thing that doctors never remember to tell women about. What's that natural method? Yeah, I've mentioned it. Natural method is calendar or old rhythm method, BBT, that is the basal body temperature method, We have the Symptothermal Method. We have the Marquette Method. We have the Billings Ovulation Method. We have the Love and Life Method. We have the 2-day method. There are many methods from natural family planning, not just one. So you can choose the one that suits your body, because natural family planning works in alignment with your body, with your natural processes. Natural family planning aligns, as in it works with your natural system. It doesn't force. But artificial family planning forces the body to prevent pregnancy by stopping ovulation. They stop ovulation, and when there's no ovulation, there can be no pregnancy. They scrape the uterine lining so that implantation can never occur, and they thicken cervical mucus, serving as blocking agent. Cervical mucus becomes, when the cervical mucus has been thickened by artificial birth control, it becomes like a blocking agent, blocking sperm cells from getting to where the egg is. These are the 3 ways hormonal birth control methods work. You have high failure rates in this method. That is because people don't know how to use it. That is what I was saying. When used correctly, they are 100% effective. Please follow, subscribe to this channel. You are going to be learning a lot. Yes, I'm a natural family planning expert, and I know what I am talking about. When used correctly, they have no side effects, and they are highly successful. They are highly effective. And that is what I'm going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks. So subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any day I come live on YouTube. Thank you. Best way to avoid pregnancy is to avoid sex. Thank you. Yeah, that is yeah, you avoid sex, but for how long can you avoid sex? Especially when you are married, for how long can you be avoiding sex? But as a human being, we can't. Okay, exactly, we can't, but there's a way to do it, and that's what I'm here to teach you. Yeah, as the expert in this field, I'm here to tell you that you can do it successfully without going through health issues, health trauma. Do you know what hormonal birth control has done to women? I don't even want to start counting. From me to friends to family. Yes. Do you know what hormonal birth control has done to women? And doctors will never tell you their side effects. I keep saying this. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a natural family planning expert. I'm a certified, trained natural family planning expert. That's what I am. And I work with medical doctors when the case warrants it. Yes, that is the way I work. You can book a consultation with me. Then if there's a problem, you can book a consultation, and then after speaking to you, I know what the problem is. I can refer you to a doctor who is specialized in whatever it is your body, your system is going through or is suffering from. Yeah, thank you. So, like I was saying, natural family planning is 100% effective. Yes, if done correctly, and they have no side effects. I have a friend who used the implant. The implant is the one that is implanted on the upper arm. It is like a mini surgery. They open, like they cut the upper arm somewhere around here. It's cut open. Then they insert it. They insert the implant into the arm. Then they sew it back. Do you know what she went through? She's a very good friend of mine. Do you know the trauma she went through? She went through stages of trauma. It started from acne. Her trauma started from acne, as in all those bumps, big bumps on her face. I used insist. I don't understand your question. As in all those bumpy acne on her face, that was where the trauma started from. And then from that acne, she started treating acne, but the more she treated it, the more they were coming out. Then from about a month or two later, it now went to another stage. It went to obesity. She started becoming big. She started adding weight, like uncontrollably. Somebody that used to be very slim, she started adding serious weight. There was she was a gym. She's a gym freak. She goes to the gym like every Saturday, but she was adding weight uncontrollably. After that stage, she moved on to depression. She moved on to depression. She would cry for no good reason. No matter what you do to her, as in to make her happy, at the end of the day, she will still cry for no good reason. That is depression. And what causes depression? It is hormonal imbalance due to the family planning method, the birth control method she was using. It messed up her hormones, and then she will cry for no good reason. That was when she said, I think it was, she used it for about 9 months. Yeah, she was using it for about 9 months, and that was when she said, enough is enough. That was when she said enough is enough. She had to go to the hospital to get it removed, to remove it. And then she became herself again. So apart from, I told her, I said, you are lucky. If you had used it for more than that period, that duration, if you had left it in your body for more than you did, your story would have been another story. Yes, your story would have been something else. From acne, hormonal acne, to obesity, to depression. That was when she now decided to go get it removed. Then she eventually removed it, and now she's back to her normal self. She uses NFP now, she uses natural family planning now, and she's okay, she's perfectly okay. And there has never been any case of unplanned pregnancy, no. Because when you use it the correct way, it works 100%. It is 100% effective. It is 100% successful. So, I've talked about natural family planning. I've given examples of natural family planning. And now let's talk about hormonal. Because artificial family planning methods are divided in two. They are further classified in two, namely the hormonal and the non-hormonal artificial family planning methods. Hormonal methods use hormones like estrogen and progesterone to prevent pregnancy, while the non-hormonal use chemical substances like the spermicide and the sponge and so on to prevent pregnancy. Now, what are the types of artificial birth control methods we have? I'll just name a few of them because there are so many, but I'll name the ones that people use all the time, the ones that are more frequently used. The number one is the contraceptive pill. The contraceptive pill is the number one that is more widely used than the others. The contraceptive pill, we have the what's it called? The Depo Provera shots, also known as the injection. We also have the IUD, that is the intrauterine devices. These ones are inserted as in they are done like a mini surgery. where you go to the hospital and a doctor will insert it into the uterus, into the womb. The uterus is the womb, so it is inserted into the uterus, and the doctor does that for you. You can't do that yourself. So it's called the IUD, the intrauterine device. I've mentioned the oral contraceptive pill. I have mentioned the Depo Provera shots, that is the injection. I have mentioned the IUD, that is the intrauterine device. Now the fourth one is the patch. The patch is like a plaster, like a plaster that is like pasted on the upper arm or on any part of the body except on the breasts. That is how to use the patch. Another one is the insert, the implant is like inserted into the upper arm. Inserted into the upper arm. Like all these things I've mentioned, all these hormonal birth control methods I've mentioned, work the same way, but they come in different shapes and sizes. They all work the same way, but they come in different shapes and sizes. They all use estrogen, artificial estrogen, and progesterone to prevent pregnancy. Our bodies create or produce the natural versions of these hormones. Our bodies produce natural estrogen and natural progesterone. But these artificial methods contain the artificial versions of these hormones, that is artificial estrogen and artificial progesterone, and that is the way they prevent pregnancy. They all contain these artificial hormones, be it the injection, be it the oral contraceptive pill, be it the patch, be it the implant, be it the IUD, they all contain the same artificial hormones. They all contain the same artificial hormones, namely artificial estrogen and artificial progesterone. And that is how they prevent pregnancy. If you're just joining us, you're welcome to my live stream. This is the Fertility Formula. My name is Beatrice, and I'm a certified natural family planning expert. Do well to drop your questions, your comments, or your experience using these methods. Do well to drop your comments, your questions, or your experience you have had using these methods. Thank you. So the non-hormonal birth control methods are the spermicides, the condom, the sponge, the cervical caps, and the female condoms, male and female condom, the withdrawal method. These are all non-hormonal birth control methods. But there are also permanent methods, permanent artificial birth control methods, namely vasectomy and tubal ligation. Vasectomy is the stopping of sperm production through a mini surgery. You have to go to the hospital, and then the surgery is done. It doesn't take more than 30 to 45 minutes. The vast difference, that is the tube that transports sperm cells from the testicles through the prostate gland, through the urethra, is cut. That tube that transports sperm cells is cut and tied up. It is cut and tied up. Why is that done? Just to prevent sperm cells from being transported out of the body during intercourse. And when there's no sperm cell, there can never be pregnancy. That is vasectomy. It is specially for men, and it is a permanent method of birth control. But science has really evolved over the years, and now there's a reverse surgery for it. It means the reverse surgery means like somebody who did vasectomy can just decide that he wants to get his system back on track. You go back to the hospital, and then a reverse surgery is done, but there is no guarantee that it's going to be exactly the same way it was before the surgery was carried out. And that is vasectomy. It's a permanent way of permanent method of artificial birth control, and it is specifically for men. The permanent method for women is called tubal ligation. It is the tying up of the tubes. The fallopian tubes are tied up to prevent egg from meeting the sperm, that is the ova, the oocyte, also known as the ova or the egg, from coming in contact with sperm cells. That is tubal ligation, and this is like exclusively for women. It is a permanent way of birth control, a permanent method of birth control. And then the other permanent method is called the tubal salpingectomy. That is the complete removal of the fallopian tubes. It is called tubal salpingectomy. When the fallopian tubes are completely removed, no pregnancy can occur. So these are permanent methods. And be it known to you that gone are the days when the what would I call it, the stress of birth control lay heavily on women only. Gone are the days when it was only women who have to go for birth control or family planning. These days there are over 8 different types of birth control methods specifically designed for men. Yes, the women are like, why should we be the only ones going through birth control? Why should we be the only ones doing birth control? The men too have to be involved. So, and you know that science has evolved over the years, and now there are 8 proven and specifically designed birth control methods for men. These birth control methods, or these male birth control methods, stop sperm production. That is how they work. These new birth control methods for men stop sperm production, and that is the way they work. So it is no longer, birth control is no longer for women alone. No, gone are the days when birth control used to be for only women or for women alone. These days men are now involved as well. Yeah, so that is it for artificial birth control methods. Over the coming weeks, over the coming days, I'll be talking more about each of them, each of the natural methods I mentioned earlier. That is the breeding and calendar method, the thermometer method, and that is the temperature method, the BOM method, that is the Billings ovulation method, the love and life method, the Marquette method, the 2-day method, the Symptothermal method. These are all natural methods of family planning, and they have no side effects. They are highly effective. Their success rates are very high, and when done correctly, when applied the correct way, they have no side effects and they are highly successful. People say they don't work because they do not know how to use them. They don't have enough information or enough knowledge on how to use them, or about how to use natural birth control. But when administered or applied correctly, they are highly effective. That is what I want you to go home with today. Bear in mind, or remove that myth, that false story, anything false you have heard about natural family planning from your mind. They actually work fantastically well. Now, artificial birth control, like I said earlier, how do they work? Doctors always forget to tell us how they work. How does the pill, the oral contraceptive pill, how does it prevent pregnancy? Has anyone ever bothered to ask their doctor or whoever sells it to them that how do they work? The pill, the injection, the patch, the implant, name it, how do they work? Women always forget to ask that question, and I've answered it before, but for the sake of those who have just joined, let me say it again. They work in 3 different ways. The first way they work is that they stop ovulation. They stop ovulation. That is the very first way they work. The second way they work is that they scrape the uterine lining. They scrape the uterine lining. When the uterine lining is scraped, implantation is prevented. Implantation is when a fertilized egg moves from the fallopian tubes to embed itself into the uterine lining. And because the woman is using artificial birth control, like the contraceptive pill, the diaphragm, the IUD, the injection, the patch, the implant, because she's using such things, and because they scrape the uterine lining, the fertilized egg gets to the womb, gets to the uterus, and finds no way to implant because artificial birth control scrapes the uterine lining. So when the fertilized egg gets to the womb, it cannot implant. And if it cannot implant, it means it cannot survive. So it just dissolves and comes out as menses. So the menses you see when you are using artificial birth control is not even the real one. It is fake menses. And the third way they work is that they take in cervical mucus. Cervical mucus is egg white. It is known as egg white in layman's language. It is ovulation mucus. It is slippery. It is stretchy. It is fertile mucus. So what artificial birth control does to cervical mucus, this mucus that leads to ovulation, is that it makes it thick, very thick. And when it's very thick, it serves as a blocking agent, blocking sperm cells from penetrating to get to where the egg is. That is how they work. These are the 3 different ways that artificial family planning methods work. But spermicides are chemical substances that kill sperm cells. These are non-hormonal birth control methods. Spermicides are chemical substances that kill sperm cells. They don't use artificial hormones like the hormonal methods. They use chemical substances like as in the spermicide. But when spermicides come in contact with sperm cells, they destroy sperm cells. That is where they work. And then we have the male and female condom. We have the withdrawal method. This is when a man withdraws and ejaculates outside the woman's body. That is withdrawal. This has been known to fail many times. The withdrawal method, it has been known to fail a lot of times. So it is not a method you want to rely on. No. Now, I get questions from my students like the use of herbs. The use of herbs for family planning. Herbs are natural and by extension they can also be termed as chemicals. What is the dosage of the herb you are using to prevent pregnancy? What are the components? What do they contain? Do you know what they contain? If you say, okay, you're not using natural, you're not using hormonal, you're not using non-hormonal, you want to use herbs, do you know what those herbs contain? Do you know the side effects of those herbs? Just because they are natural doesn't mean they don't have side effects. They can have serious side effects even when they are natural herbs. So you want to know what you're putting into your body. Apart from the chemical component, as in the component, the mixture of different herbs, what do you know, the dosage? Do you know when you'll be like taking an overdose or an underdose? So you want to be careful what you put in your body. The best methods are the natural methods. Those are the best methods of family planning, the natural methods. These methods have no side effects. They are highly effective when done correctly, and they are very affordable. They are very affordable. Herbs, on the other hand, are also natural, but they can also be classified as like, I don't know, like chemical substances as well. Because even when you say herbs are natural, they can also have side effects. Because just because they are natural doesn't mean they don't have side effects. They could have traumatic side effects even if they are natural. So you want to be sure of what you're putting in your body. The dosage, the composition, what do you have in that bottle? What is the mixture in that bottle before you take it? Don't say because they said they are herbs, it means they are natural. They can have serious side effects, and you want to be sure of what you're putting into your body. So the natural family planning methods are the best when used correctly. They are the best. They have no side effects. They are highly affordable. They work in alignment with your natural body processes. They don't force the body like artificial birth control methods do. They don't force your system to do what they want to prevent pregnancy. No, they work in alignment. They work in conjunction, as in they obey, or should I say they respect your natural body processes, and they work according to your body processes. That is the way natural family planning works. So it's been a very good and interesting topic so far. It's been an interesting discussion so far, and this is going to be the discussion for the next couple of days. We're going to be discussing natural family planning, artificial family planning, hormonal birth control, limits. That's what we're going to be talking about in the next couple of days into weeks, because it's a very wide topic. It's not what we can finish in one day. So make it a date with me, like every day or every other day, to learn, because women need to learn. Whether you are single, whether you are married, you need to learn all these things, especially the single ones. Don't say, no, I'm not married or I'm single. So it is your business, because single people will eventually get married someday. So it will do you a whole world of good if you start learning now. This is the time to start learning. Don't wait until you're married. This is the time to start learning, so that when you get married, you would have mastered the process. And then this will also help you to make the best decisions in your marriage. It is not when you get married you now start running helter-skelter to learn. You can start learning now and practicing now. They say practice makes you perfect. Start learning now, start practicing now, so that when eventually you get married, you would have mastered the process. And this will help you make the best decisions in your marriage. So please share, like this live stream, share to both single and married, subscribe to this channel, and you'll be learning a whole lot, yes, from this channel. Now, how I explained how the basal body temperature method works. What is basal? Basal, BBT, also known as the basal body temperature method, is a natural way of family planning or birth control. It is 100% natural. How is it applied? You go to a pharmacy. That is step one. You go to a pharmacy, you buy a BBT thermometer. That is a basal body temperature thermometer. In the past, women used to use the normal mercury thermometer that they use in the hospitals. But like I said, science has evolved over the years, and there's now a special kind of thermometer called the BBT thermometer. It is specially or specifically for BBT method. So you go to the pharmacy, you buy a BBT thermometer. Don't buy the normal thermometer used in hospitals. No, buy the special thermometer called the BBT thermometer, the basal body temperature thermometer. That is the first step. The second step is you keep it just beside you, just beside your bed, or under your pillow, or just near you when you're sleeping, because you need to use it first thing in the morning before doing any work at all. Immediately you get up you wake up, immediately you open your eyes. That is the very first thing you need to do before doing any work at all, before going through any stress at all, or before carrying out any activities. You need to take your body temperature immediately you wake up from sleep. That is why I said you should keep it beside you, maybe under your pillow or beside your bed, on a lamp stand or something, so that immediately you get up, immediately you are awake, before getting up. You don't even have to get out of bed. It's supposed to be just beside you, so that immediately you wake up, immediately you open your eyes, you take your thermometer and insert it under your tongue. You insert it under your tongue, and then you wait for a bit, about less than 4 minutes. Less than 4 minutes. The thermometer itself makes a sound. It's a clicking sound or a beeping sound that it normally makes when it is ready. So when you place it under your tongue, you wait for about like 4 minutes or so. A little while, not too long, until you hear that beeping sound. When you hear the beeping sound, it means that the thermometer is ready. You bring it out and check the temperature. It is written in digits. It's so easy to use. It is written in digits. What is normal body temperature? Normal body temperature is 37 degrees, right? Normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So when you check your thermometer, the BBT method pinpoints the days after ovulation. Once ovulation has occurred, body temperature rises. That is the system, the sign that the BBT method uses. So when you identify like a rise in temperature, you've been taking your body temperature every day, and lest I forget, if you take it 6 a.m. today, it has to be 6 a.m. or around that 6 a.m. tomorrow, and subsequently it has to be 6 a.m. Not when you take 6 a.m. today, tomorrow you're taking it at 8 a.m. It doesn't work that way. No. If you take it at 6 a.m. today, it has to be 6 a.m. tomorrow. It has to be 6 a.m. the day after tomorrow, and subsequently. That is the way you use the BBT method. So when you take your readings every day, you track your body temperature every day. On the days a woman is fertile, her body temperature rises a little. It rises a little on the days a woman is fertile. Her body temperature rises, and you can see, like if you've been tracking your body temperature from day one, when ovulation occurs eventually, you will see where your body temperature increases. And what does that tell you? That tells you that ovulation has occurred. And then you continue until another menses, until you see your period again. If you do that for about 3 to 4 cycles, you can go back to your chart and then you see the sequence. You see exactly how your system works, and then you can use this sequence, as in you can use this, what would I call it, this chart, to identify when you are fertile. You say, okay, yes, okay, see, for this, the first cycle, see where body temperature rose. Second cycle, you can see where your body temperature increased. The third cycle, you can see, so you can use it to, identify around the time you are fertile, your menstrual cycle is in the fertile period. So that is how the BBT method works. Most women don't like using it alone. They don't like using BBT method alone. Most women like pair it with other methods. Most women pair, as in they use it, they pair it, they combine it with other methods like the calendar, which means they are counting, they are tracking their fertility, counting dates by counting dates on the calendar. They are also doing BBT at the same time, as in tracking their body temperature, and they are also doing cervical mucus, that is Billings, that's BOM, Billings ovulation method. Billings ovulation method is like tracking your fertility by observing your body signs, observing your fertile or cervical mucus. If you combine these three, there is no way you just wake up with an unplanned pregnancy. That is if done correctly. Like I have said, I can't even, it cannot be overemphasized. I keep saying it, if done correctly. People don't do it correctly, and that is why they come back saying it doesn't work, natural methods don't work. It is because they don't do it the right way. If done the right way, they work perfectly well. Yes, I can testify to that. I am a witness to that. They work perfectly well, and you can use them to achieve or to prevent pregnancy. It depends on what you want. That's it. That's the way they work. Now, the Billings ovulation method, or the love and life method, I mentioned, if you remember, I mentioned the love and life method. The love and life method is directly derived from the Billings method. The love and life method is directly derived from the Billings method, but it has its own slight differences. Love and life method is everything that the BOM, that is the Billings ovulation method, contains and more. In the sense that love and life method talks about achieving pregnancy, and that is one thing that, the Billings method does not really talk about. Billings method is mostly about pregnancy prevention, but the love and life method talks about achieving pregnancy and the pre-selection of the sex of your baby. Yes, people ask me, especially my students, they ask, is this possible? Of course it is possible to pre-select the sex of the baby you wish to have. You want to have a baby boy, it is possible to pre-select. You want to have a baby girl, it is possible to pre-select a baby girl. It depends on what you want. So pre-selection is possible, and it is 100% effective if done correctly. And you cannot pre-select the sex of your baby if you are using oral contraceptives, for instance, or you are using the Depo Provera injection, or you're using any of the artificial family planning methods. It is not possible for you to pre-select the sex of your baby. The only way you can pre-select the sex of your baby is by using the natural methods. The natural methods. These are the only ways you can pre-select the sex of your baby safely and effectively. So, you will agree with me that yes, the natural methods are not only the best methods, but they are also highly effective. They are 100% side effect free, no side effects, and they are very affordable. Yes, they are very affordable. So with that, guys, I think we draw a curtain in today's it's time to draw the curtains on today's live stream. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be expecting you in my next subsequent live streams. Make it a date with me every day or every other day. Thank you for joining and stay blessed. Bye.